Hello, this is Edwin Dearborn, and today I want to talk to you about some simple growth hacks with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an incredible opportunity for you as a small business owner, salesperson, whether you're networking for a large corporation or you're just starting your own gig. I want to share with you how to use LinkedIn and some simple growth hacks to get more connections, more business, and more views, and as a result, build your authority. I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an incredible opportunity for us to connect with each other, other business people, showcase our knowledge, and generate more business. There is no better place to find qualified prospects than LinkedIn. The problem is that we don't really have a LinkedIn strategy. Most of us don't. We just kind of on there. I'm just bringing up my profile, and it's funny that people think that social media is not an opportunity to connect and sell, and that's because they haven't used social media correctly. There's an old saying, don't blame the Indian, or don't blame the arrows, blame the Indian. If you're a good hunter, you can take a bad weapon and still put meat on the table. But if you've got this really expensive weapon, but you suck as a hunter, you're going to struggle finding game. You're just not going to put meat on the table. As a salesperson, as a business person, you have to put opportunities on the table. So let's say you're pretty good at business, you're a good salesperson. Of course, there's always room for growth, but you've got to bring more opportunities into your brand. Whether you're a corporate salesperson, you're a real estate agent, mortgage broker, you sell insurance, or you're just trying to start your own side hustle, I believe LinkedIn is probably your best opportunity to connect with the exact right people. So I'm going to bring something up here. And what I want to do is I would like to share my screen with you. And let me just figure out how to. I'm still learning how to do this. So just work with me here, and I will bring up my screen. So here we are with my LinkedIn profile. And let me just kind of take you through what we're doing with my profile. So if you check out how many connections I have, I've got 14,276 connections. Per my dashboard, I'm an all-star, and that's because I've taken a lot of time and opportunity to really develop my LinkedIn strategy. So the first thing is, do you have your profile? I've got a decent picture here. I'm a paid member. I've got my branding on it. I've got good amount of content here, my keywords, so that I can show up and search. But also, more importantly, I just want a good brand image so that when people find me or I'm proactively connecting with them, that they've got a good idea of what I do, the value that I can bring, and so forth. So the first hack is the reason why I have so many connections is because I have a virtual assistant as well as my own efforts, and every day I'm reaching out to people that I want to influence. Now, how do I do that? Well, I use Sales Navigator, which is $79 a month, and I have certain lists that I'm working on, such as top leaders. And let me just see if I can bring up one of these lead lists. So I'm looking at various people, such as David Roosevelt is just an example, but I've actually got saved searches, and so I can look for top people that I want to connect with, and I've put in certain types of qualifications. You can see that they're in the United States, second-degree connections. I'm looking for people in the accounting, health, wellness, and fitness, law practice, management consulting, and real estate with companies with 11 to 50 or 51 to 200. So now I've got 11,000 total results, and I can actually proactively search for those people that I want to reach. So I'm sending out invitations to very specific people. My virtual assistant uses my LinkedIn Navigator to connect with those people. I send out 75 to 100 invitations per day. And then I get about 30 to 35% of those people responding to me. And then I have a preset acknowledgement that I send. And then what I do is, instead of trying to sell them or tell them all about how great I am, I keep it very simple. And what I do is I send them to a piece of content. And that content is very important. It's the landing page. So I basically say, hey, thanks for connecting with me. I believe that I've got some interesting views about what a chief marketing officer should do. This piece of content will tell you what a chief marketing officer should accomplish for the brand that they serve. Then thirdly, once I send them that piece of content, I go to their profile and I grab their email address and I upload it to my email database. And then I send something out to them going, hey, I'm going to connect with you on email as well. So that's my first hack, is I'm just using a virtual assistant to send out a ton of targeted invitations. And then those people are acknowledged that those that do accept my invitation. So I'm getting about 30 to 35 new connections per day. Once you get that, I'm growing my list and my followers by 900 to 1,000 people per month. That means I'm going to add 10 to 12,000 followers per year. That means within 3 years, I'll have 30,000 top professionals connecting with me and my content. I grab their email and I'm going to send out great content like I'm doing right here through my video, which is also concurrently live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And hopefully once I get accepted on LinkedIn through my invitation, I'll be live streaming my content on a weekly, possibly daily basis right in my LinkedIn profile. But until then, I want to show you another thing that I'm doing. And let me just bring up another screen here, or back to my LinkedIn. Here we go. There's my LinkedIn. Okay, so now I want to show you what I'm doing. And right here, LinkedIn will show what content I'm creating. And I can go to my posts, my articles. So let's just go to my posts. Well, you can see I posted something this morning and I put in the top digital marketing trends of 2021. Wrote this little, I think you're allowed to about 1,300 characters. So I put this little post here and then I put some hashtags so people can find it. And this morning so far, I've already got 30 people viewing it. But listen to this. This is where I really take my content distribution. So I've written the article and I'm in with LinkedIn. So anybody, those 14,000 people, plus anybody that's following those hashtags, can find me on LinkedIn, interact with me, or just see that I'm passionate and vocal about marketing. Again, just a constant reminder, here I am. I'm here sharing with you valuable content, building my authority, letting you know that I'm here ready to somehow grow your brand if you choose to work with me. But then if you look up here, you see the URL for that specific post. Every single time you post on LinkedIn, it creates a unique URL. Well, I can copy that and I can distribute that through Twitter and Facebook. And let me show you how I did that through Twitter. So I took that post and I repurposed that post onto my LinkedIn, or on my Twitter, I'm sorry. Now, let me just share my Twitter here. Again, I'm learning here. Screen share. There we go. Okay, so here we are in my Twitter, and you'll see right here, I took the article, I took the URL of the article, I uploaded it to Twitter, I put the title of it, and look at this. I've already had 3 retweets and of people sharing my article on LinkedIn. So when I click on that tweet, it goes right back to my article, and I'm driving more views and potentially a greater audience straight to my LinkedIn profile. Therefore, I can connect with more professionals as well as reach the 13,000 people on LinkedIn. I can do this with YouTube. I can share it on Facebook. I can share it on all my social channels, driving more traffic of that original post on LinkedIn and using Facebook and Twitter through broader distribution to bring more attention to my LinkedIn profile, potentially connecting with even more professionals on LinkedIn, as well as boosting my post on LinkedIn because I'm getting more views, more likes, and that's making the LinkedIn algorithm happy, which again, I'm getting in front of more eyeballs, which is the goal of marketing. If I'm reaching out to more professionals, I'm creating more content, I'm getting that content seen over and over and over, I am building my brand as someone to connect with. Now, how can you replicate these actions? Well, number one, you can get a virtual assistant to help you reach out to specific people. If you don't know how to use that, that's one of the services that I offer. Number two, create better content more often. Do it 2 or 3 times a day. Number three, take that content within LinkedIn and repurpose it and redistribute it on other social channels such as Facebook, Facebook groups, Twitter, YouTube. You can take your content and drive even more people to what you're doing. So this is how I'm using LinkedIn. And I want to tell you a couple of success stories that I've had from LinkedIn. Years ago, when I got active on it, I wasn't as sophisticated. I was just, myself waking up every morning, sending out invitations, and one by one, doing it myself, grabbing their email addresses, putting in my email database. And my emails years ago were not that sophisticated. They were mainly text. But the one thing that I was very good at was consistency. I would send out a consistent amount of emails to my database. Well, at first, I didn't get a lot of response from my emails, but about 6 months into it, I get a phone call from this dental lab, and they're like, "This is so and so, and yeah, we want you to do our marketing for us." I'm like, "Okay, how did you find out about me?" They're like, "Well, we're getting your emails." I'm like, "Oh, really? You're getting right? You're getting my emails?" When I walked in and gave the proposal, they closed on the spot. See, my emails to them, my content was doing the selling for me. It was building the trust for me. It was showcasing my ability to discern and understand and deploy marketing strategies. So the email was that drip campaign was doing the selling for me. And that was early on before I got as sophisticated as I am now with the subject of LinkedIn. But recently, I started really scaling up. In the last month, I've really scaled up in a new unit of time my outreach on LinkedIn, as well as just taking my quality content to another level because I really saw that LinkedIn was going to be my unlock. Within 2 days of just my scaling, I had a person who found not only my content, he found my phone number and he called me and said, "I need a chief marketing officer. What can you do for me?" Got on the phone. Within about an hour, he said, "I want a proposal." And 2 days ago, I sent the proposal, and I'll probably close that deal here sometime next week. My point is this: if you leverage this tool called LinkedIn better than anybody else in your industry, which is not as hard as you may think it is. You already have a competitive advantage. I don't care what industry you're in. You give me a room of 100 insurance agents or 100 mortgage brokers or 100 realtors or 100 bookkeepers, you name the niche, and I will describe this strategy to them. Use a VA, reach out to 100 people, post content on a continuous basis, upload the email, send content to your email database once or twice a week. If I describe that simple strategy to 100 people, 100 of your competitors, maybe one of them, 1 out of 100, is executing exactly the way I just laid out. What does that mean for you? If you execute this in the manner in which I've laid out, you have gained a top tier competitive advantage over everybody else within your field, and you will grow. I have case studies to prove such. I have existing clients to prove such. I'm telling you, this is a major unlock for you if you're in sales or small business. Now, of course, it adapts a little differently to every different type of business, but the strategy, the core strategy is the same from person to person, with a slight bit of nuance based on the industry that you're in. So if you're looking to grow, LinkedIn is where it's at. If you need help, I am the virtual chief marketing officer that would love to work with you. I'm looking for ambitious brands with a 10x mindset that really want to blow the roof off of their brand. And I believe that I bring a lot of enthusiasm, knowledge, and most importantly, the desire to execute and get things done. We're not just going to sit here and talk and confabulate about what we should be doing. We're not going to be having lots of great meetings. What we're going to do is lay out a simple strategy and then push it and get dones. We are going to blow through all barriers, hell or high water, and we're going to execute. We are going to deploy these tactics, and we are going to grow as a result. That is why I call my show Growth Driven. I am driven to grow brands, and I know how to do so. So if you've got that mindset and you've got that level of ambition, I would love to work with you. Peace out. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.